Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the new Citroen C3 facelift. This is the Shine package, 17,000 euros with few options. Here are the beautiful LED headlights. We're sitting on 16-inch alloy wheels, and we have 1.2 liter PureTech petrol engine, 3-cylinder inline turbocharged, and with 110 horsepower, 6-speed manual. If we check the cargo area, 300 liters, decent for a small city hatchback. Let's just jump inside the car and continue driving. So, physical key, and put it inside. So just before I turn on, seatbelt safety first. It's very minimalist when it comes to lights, so a very basic car, but this is your like entry car. So you have the classical speedometer, will display on the side. So let me just show you some music. Can't play it for too long, so the bass speakers are decent, they're good, but don't turn them all the way up, because then the music rattles through the plasticky doors. But so this car might be cheap on the inside, a lot of plastic, but it has its pros and cons. So let's just head out, start driving. And I must say that I like this car, despite the price tag and the class is the entry, so there's not much luxury or premium stuff, but it does serve the purpose of getting you from point A to point B in a comfortable way. Well, French cars are very comfortable, and so is this one. So potholes, manholes, speed bumps, it's very comfy, no issue, and I really enjoy French cars. The older you get, the more comfort you want in a ride. Brakes are solid, not too aggressive from the start, all standard. Steering is a little bit light for my taste. The engine, 110 horsepower in such a small city hatchback, which is uplifted a little bit, so that's also a pro, because you have a better overview, you feel a little bit safer. So it's very punchy. The engine is more than enough for this car, and the car is fast. It's just nippy. It speeds up easily, even on higher speeds. It's no big deal if you put it to lower gear and speed up. 6-speed manual. I'm glad the car has a 6th speed or 6th gear. Well, I must say I'm not a huge fan of a long shifts, like, so the traveling mechanism is a little bit longer. I like it short and precise, but this one's long, almost like in a rally car, but it is very comfortable. It sits in comfortable into the gear, so it feels good. And the purpose of this is for the car to be more interactive. The engine, the petrol engine, is a little bit noisy as well, but I think this car will be very attractive to young customers who want a little bit to hear the engine, who want to drive around the city, go to road trips with their first car. So this is excellent for you if you're falling into that category. So I'm just gonna change my lane here. Now I think I covered most of the stuff. Now the interior is quite minimalist. You have actually only a few buttons physical. The rest is pretty much minimalist, And you have the infotainment that is nice. It has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Now I'm not going to turn the signal, so you can see that that's a lane departure warning. So some constructions here. Actually pretty much finished, but for some reason I think they were painting the road or the fence. So also the car has a very good overview around you, in the mirrors in the back. It's not hard to park this car. This particular package, at least in Croatia, came with the rear parking sensors. I don't think you really need the front ones, but it wouldn't hurt to get them. But what is cool is you get safety features like that lane departure warning, front collision warning, stuff like that. So the cars are getting better and safer. And I think I've covered most of the basic stuff you're interested in when it comes to the view. So watch this. I'll speed up a little bit. So the car easily picks up speed, and it even it's a front wheel drive, but it just raises the nose like you're launching. It's quite cool. I forgot the top speed from top of my head, so it's not super fast, but it can drive almost 195, although you don't need that much. But here in Croatia it's illegal to drive 150 on the highway because of the 20% tolerance. So we have 10% in the city, up to 100 kilometers, and then 20 above on the highway. So 150, this car speeds nicely, although above 140 this car is a bit noisy, and I think because they try to maximize the space inside the cabin, and the car is a little bit tall, there's a lot more noise from the wind and the tires amplifying in the cabin. So I would say if you stick to 140 or 130, you should be good. It's not super noisy, but above that it should be, it won't be comfortable to drive, but it's all according to speed limits, so you should be good if you don't have tolerance on the speed. Green light. So other stuff besides all the basics is overall this car is very comfortable, and I think it's perfect for city commute and occasional road trips. The boot space is fairly large for two suitcases for short journey. Space on the rear, well, only for kids or toddlers, I would say. So this is for a two-person car, I would say, definitely. Cons, well, cons, there's lack of interior illumination, no light in the glove compartment, and no light in the rear, and stuff like I think the parking sensors on the front should be standard in every car today, and yeah, so it's basically a few minor details considering again the 17,000 euros entry. Actually, that's not the entry price, excuse me. So that's the for a few options like the paint and like a few basic options that were picked. I can't remember from the top of my head now. If you want to watch a video without me talking, where you can hear the engine, all the noises car makes, you can check my day point of view driving. And another con, besides that the engine is a bit loud for my taste for a petrol, definitely the AC. So it just always kicks in. See, this is what I'm talking about. This car is nippy. You're easily speeding and you need to slow down. But yeah, the compressor of the AC is sometimes noisy. Even the previous C3 was also doing that before the generation previous to this one. Or this is the facelift, but the one previous to the predecessor of this facelift, or the pre-facelift. And we're coming to a highway, so I'm gonna be quiet because I've covered almost everything, so you can at least in this video hear some sound in the cabin on the highway. And we're gonna check out then the LED headlights test as well outside the city in pitch black. Kind of forgot to mention, but the car is very stable in the corners. It does lean a bit, but the back end doesn't stick out. You'd have to be really aggressive and so there's a patch of a new asphalt, and then the old one that's a lot of rough. So this car is actually quite silent. You can hear now a lot less, and then noisy, less noisy. So unfortunately this asphalt is rough, but the car has a very good soundproof when you come to a smooth asphalt like this. So you're gonna hear, and then it starts rough. So cruise control is the lever on the bottom on the left side. It's pretty dead easy to use, quite intuitive as well once you figure it out. And the LED headlights are very decent. Long beam, very good. So all the basics you need in this car are here. So, and as well, it's also good looking from the outside. So if you're now on the highway, you want to turn some music, I'm just going to do a short demo. So I can't play it for too long, but the music would probably get rid of the noise in the cabin. This is just an overpass, so there's a 100 speed limit, but you can see on 100 it's a lot less noisy. Now this car doesn't have navigation, but what you can do is you can plug your smartphone, and then you can have for example in my case Apple CarPlay, and then you can put a map, a Google Maps or Waze on your screen. So that's good, but unfortunately you need to use the cable. It doesn't work wirelessly. So this is my exit. So if you're new to the channel and you like this content, like the video and subscribe. There's plenty of videos. You can browse the channel, plenty of cars I review. I'm a one-man army, so I work alone, but I do review cars for almost 4 to 5 years now. Started like a hobby, but ended up like a professional job, I guess. So I always do the same route, because in that way you can check other cars and you can compare in the same conditions other cars, so the noise level, you know, engine performance, stuff like that. Now this part we're getting to 80 speed limit, so you can go to the limiter and then you could just limit your speed to 80, or in this case 88 would be 10%. So you don't have worries for speeding if you're in a country with no tolerance to the speed limit. So we're going to the part where there will be no street lights, so you can see the performance of the LED headlights, and also a con maybe for most of the people. AC controls are on touch only operation, so it'd be nice to have physical buttons. You do get them in the C4 if you want that, but not in this one. So you can see the LED headlights. I need to manually turn on the long beam. It's pretty solid. It doesn't have that like matrix lights, that sharp line where the end is, but it is very good, so no worries. In this video I'm not going to do a launch because it's probably more than 8 to 9 seconds or 10. And it's not that late, so there's still some traffic, as you can see, so safety first as always. But we're gonna check the performance of the LEDs, and I might even plug in the phone to show you the Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna pull here to the end because there is a storage unit, so there might be occasional traffic. So front fog lights, you almost can't see them. Actually, let me see if yeah, they're on. Now the rear, so you can see on the side, fog on off, not much difference. I'm gonna take my iPhone 12 Pro camera, has a better light sensor and night photos, so I'm gonna show you how it looks more in person, because the GoPro 9 doesn't have that big sensor to take more light inside. So this is the normal beam, this is the long beam. It's pretty solid, so it's good. And if I show you the fog lights, so you'll see not much difference. So I've plugged my phone, we have Waze on. Little critic, the Apple CarPlay just eliminates too much. Now you can see the headlights, the long beam is pretty good in person, just excellent. Citroen LED vision or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Punchy. This car is very punchy, so it's fun to drive, definitely, and comfy. So usually you get either very stiff and sporty, or comfy and boring, but this one is comfy and fun to drive as well. So here's the Apple CarPlay. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe outside the city there was no lights, so it felt like this was a little bit too bright, but it looks okay now. You can hear in the first gear the AC. I don't know why. So let's check here Google Maps. We have a live traffic information, or you can switch to Waze. So you can see traffic cameras, speed traps, and police. Comment below, which do you prefer? I would like combination of both. I like Google Maps, but they don't have the useful stuff like speed traps and police settings to report. They're really not accurate, but Waze does, but doesn't have all the information like Google Maps. But I really like the Waze app. It's very simplified. I like the graphics as well. So to wrap it up, consumption, well, in average we had 6.4, now 6.5, but I think you would get around 6 liters. What I've read from other who tested the car, I unfortunately have to return the car tonight, so couldn't do a consumption test, at least not a proper one. But here we are coming to our end. If you're new to the channel, it ends in the garage, sort of going from point A to point B. Now I usually want to end it in garage. Looks like we still have the main lights on, because after like 11 o'clock at night it switches to a night saving mode, so you can see the car a little bit better in better light conditions. And I think we have a nice spot over here. Now this car is all about manual parking, so you only have rear parking sensors. So one thing I would prefer is if the mirrors would automatically dip in reverse, but don't have that feature, unfortunately. Luckily I'm good with parking. I aced it in auto school. I guess I'm a natural. I think that's far enough. And another thing, so this is practical, so for the young people, and if you're into music and then you just want to press the navigation icon, it switches to Apple CarPlay, so it doesn't have to have the navigation on. You can be in climate and then you press again, it comes back to Apple CarPlay, so that's cool. If you're using Apple CarPlay, don't forget your smartphone inside the car. And that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope I'm gonna see you in the next video and hear your comments. And just a little tour around the car on the light. It's a gorgeous color, red. I'm not that bold to pick one personally, but it is a nice looking color. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. As always, stay safe on the road, at home. Bye.